Let me talk to y'all, youngsters. Let me talk to y'all for a minute. All right. And this is for those of you who's getting ready to graduate high school in a few weeks, and those that might have graduated from high school last year. Okay. First, I want to say congratulations to you. And this is also to y'all that's going to college in the fall. Okay. Let me lace y'all with some wisdom and some knowledge because I've been where you've been. Okay. Give you some do's and don'ts. Now, on the academic tip, when you go to college, right, what you want to do is you want to major in something that's going to pay you some money when you graduate, and the job market for that is very high. Okay, so when you get done, some of you may be on the 5 year plan, some of you may be on the 4 year plan. What I mean by that is the 5 year plan means you're going to be in college for 5 years. A lot of students I know in my day, I graduated from college in the early 2000s, even though I was supposed to come out in the 90s, but that's a whole nother story. But a lot of my peers graduated in 5 years. They didn't do 4 years. But some of you are smart enough to come out in four now. Now, what you want to do is this, okay? You want to major in something like maybe pre-law, biology, any of the sciences. You're definitely going to get work. Computers or technology, definitely. This AI, artificial intelligence, major in that. If they have a program with that, I would recommend you participate in that. Okay. What else? You can major in English and math if you plan on becoming a school teacher, or just get into a school teaching program. That's another thing. Uh, do something that's going to pay some money, like engineering, like electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, nuclear engineering, and so forth. All those different types of engineering programs that they have. Because civil engineering, they pay really decent money. Okay? And the reason I'm saying this is out of survival. Okay? Now, that's the do's on the, in terms of the major. Now, the don't major in philosophy or some type of liberal arts type of major like philosophy or psychology unless you're trying to become a psychologist. Okay? Basket weaving or pottery. Unless you plan on opening up a pottery website online or a store, don't do it. It's a waste of time, money, and energy. Okay? Don't major in communications. Okay? If you want to learn how to do television work, go to a local public access station and learn. There's some places in town you can learn that way, or you can go right here on YouTube or any of these social media sites and learn it on your own and get your own camera work. Okay? It's not necessary unless you plan on going back to the inner city to teach that. Okay? But communications is really a joke. And I have a degree in communications. If I can go back in time, I would not have majored in communications. It's a very hard field to get in, and most likely you're probably going to have to leave your hometown and probably have to go to a smaller market. Okay? That's a don't. And don't let, when you graduate, don't let these selfish advisors talk you into going somewhere where you're not comfortable going, all because they want to save their job. Don't do that. Stay away from them type of advisors because they selfish. Been there, done that. What else can I say for the don'ts in terms of academics? All right, well, this is a do, more of a do. If you're going to be on the 5 year plan, I recommend you take 12 credits a semester because the average class is 3 credits, so that's 4 credits. 4 courses. So 3 times 4 is 12 credits, okay? Don't do nothing like 18, 19, or 20 credits unless you are extremely and academically strong student, which the majority of you are not. Let's be real. You are seriously going to be bogged down. You're going to be extremely busy, and you're going to burn out. The most I would suggest you take is 16, because some of those gym classes may be 1 credit, or health class 1 credit. So, and the rest you might have like 15 academic 3 credit academic courses that you're taking, but don't take no more than 16. I would recommend. But if you're on the 5-year plan, just take 12. Okay? Just take 12. Now, if you're on the 4-year plan, my recommendation will be about 15. Now, let's go back to the 5-year plan. Now, the 5-year plan, if you think about it, the average major, on average, you need to get your degree is about 120 credits. So you figure your fall semester, spring semester, you have 12 credits on one and 12 in another. That's 24 credits. And let's say you decide you want to go to summer school for a semester or two, and you take another 6, that's 30. Well, let's say 9 credits in the summer. So that's about 33 credits. You do the same thing your second year, it's another 33, that's 66. And let's say you do another 24 for your third year. Okay, that is 66 and 24. So that's 90. So that's senior level status. When you have about 25 credits, 24, 25, you're now a sophomore. And when you are a junior at 55 to 60. And then 90, you're in the senior zone. You're in senior status in most schools. But not all of them. Look it up in the bulletin, at the university bulletin. And then afterwards, after that 90, you do another, let's say 30 credits. Let's say you do another 30, that's just 120, and then you got your degree. So I would recommend that. But like I said, don't major in something that you know you're not going to get a job in. Now, you may end up working for the state government office or even the federal I know they're doing a lot of cuts in Washington, or you might get a city job. But you're probably going to end up somewhere where you're not going to be happy. So major in something, not only just that pays money, but something that you enjoy too. You can do that too. Okay? But be prepared not to, if you're going to just do something because it's something that you just like majoring in, like pottery or basket weaving, and you plan on living with your parents for 10 years, knock yourself out. But if you want to go on your own after you graduate from college, do what I suggest you do. Now, in terms of your finances, don't spend all your money, okay? This is a don't. What you want to do is the following. Let's say if your expenses is $27,000 for the semester. That includes your tuition, fees, books, room and board, and so on. And you got $30,000 in financial aid. I'm just making this number up. Okay, $30,000. And $30,000 went to your financial aid. That means 30 minus 27, that leaves you with $3,000 left over. And that's called a refund. That's your money. You can do whatever you want with it. Anything you want, any personal expenses, so forth. But what I would suggest you do is take a third of that money. Each semester, take a third of that money and put it in either a mutual fund or a certificate of deposit known as a bank CD at the bank. At your local bank or credit union, find out now if you're going to do mutual funds, I recommend finding out what is the percentage turnover rate after you put all your money in there. Now, let's look at that financial part. Let's say you put 1,000 that semester, you do 1,000 the next semester, and let's say you go to summer school and you decide you want to put $500 in there. That's $2,500. Now, the next semester, you get the same amount, same refund, and instead of you doing a third, you do 2/3. So you take 2,000 per semester. It's 2,000 in the fall, 2,000 in the spring. That's $4,000, right? Plus another 1,000. Let's say you went to summer school again, so that's like $5,000. Now the 5,000 plus the 2,500, that brings you to $7,500, right? Now, let's say your junior year, you're doing well, you're doing the studies, they give you more financial aid. Now your refund is bigger. Let's say your refund is now $5,000. I would take 3 of that in the fall and the spring, that's 6, and then half, like maybe in the summer, or let's say you don't go to summer school. Well, let's say you decided you do. Okay, another 1,500. So that's $7,500, right? 7,500 plus what was it? We did 3 and 3. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on a second. 1, 2, 2,500, 2,500. So now you got $12,500. Now, $12,500. You do 7,500 again. Your fourth and final year of school, $7,500 plus 12,000. That brings you to 20,000. On top of that, plus the interest on it. So you're probably looking at a good $23,000 because you got your 20,000 plus the 3,000 back, and then they'll take a percentage from the bank when you cash out and decide you want to mature it. Now you got what? About a good $22,000 left, or might be a little bit mess, maybe 20. I'm gonna say round off to $21,000, right? Now, when you're done school, the average apartment is what, $1,600 in most parts of this country, or let's say you decide to get a studio for $1,300, right? 1,300 times 10, that's 13,000 plus 13 is 2,600. So you take 15.6 thousand, right, from that 2,100, right? So you take 21,000. I mean, not 2,100, 21,000. You take 21,000 minus 15. That's what, 6,000, and take away the other 500. Now you got $5,500. Now that $5,500, you can take half of that, or let's say take 3,000 of it to go buy yourself some furniture, a bedroom set, living room set, and a dining room set for your apartment. Okay, because that other money, that 1,300 that you paid, could go to your first month's rent. Okay, plus a deposit. It's another $1,300, so that's $4,300. Now you got $1,200 left. And what I would do, maybe you can go to a car dealership and put a down payment on a car. Okay, and that could go towards your car. Or you could also, work over the summer so you can get some clothes. So that's what you do. Now, another don't get a credit card, because usually they'll have a picnic during orientation. They have all these vendors and everything set up. They'll try to get you to get a debit card. I mean, not a debit card, but a credit card. So what you want to do is don't get a credit card unless you're working and you're making 3 times the amount of what's on the credit limit of that credit card. Now, if you're going to do that, that means, let's say, if you got $1,000 limit on that credit card, make sure you're making $3,000, which I doubt you'll be making in college. Now, if it's $500, the credit limit, let's say, is $500, and you're making $1,500 a month, maybe through your work study program, then I would say go through with it, okay? But make sure or let's just make it even, Steven. If it's 600, is your limit, and you're making $1,800 a month, okay? What I would do is don't spend no more than $200, and make sure you pay that back, so that way you'll establish A1 credit. But that's a whole nother story. And go talk to a financial advisor. Now, if you're going to join a fraternity or sorority, find out what the graduation rate is. Okay? Find out if it's like 70, if it's above 70%, then that's a good organization to be a part of. If it's less than that, if it's like in the 40s and 50s and like just under 60, I wouldn't recommend that because there's probably some madness going on and they're going to interfere. Because remember, your main purpose in going to college is to get a degree. That's your main purpose. Okay? So don't let these organizations or anybody on that campus interfere with you doing that. Get away from them. Okay? Because they do not have your interests at heart. They only have their little selfish agenda. Remember, you're up there to study mainly. Okay? Now, that's what I would recommend. Now, that was 4 years, but you get my point. In terms of that, saving some, don't spend all your financial aid refund. Now, what I would recommend is get a charge card. If you're going to somewhere like Walmart or Target to shop for your food, let's say if the dining hall is closed and you want something to eat, you can get on the bus or go get an Uber or a Lyft or have a buddy drive you. Make sure you get a charge card with them. Only spend what you was intending on spending. So let's say if you was only planning on spending $100 and you use that charge card, just spend only $100 on that card and take that $100 and go to the customer service part and pay them. Okay, that's what I would recommend. Because later on you might want to increase your limit. Okay, I recommend that. What else? Go out on the weekends, like Friday, Saturday night, and I would say join some clubs if you want. Do intramural sports if you know how to play basketball, baseball, golf, soccer. If you know how to play intramural football, join the team. You'll probably form a bond with your sisters or your brothers. Y'all probably have a brotherhood and a sisterhood. Go out and enjoy yourselves. Now, to the fellas, now I'm going to tell you right now, you go out there in these mountains, in these rural areas, and I'm talking to my urban brothers, and I'm talking Latino and black, okay? You go out there, you get stupid out there in these conservative Republican areas, they will not hesitate and put you under the jail. It's not like some of these liberal blue cities. These predominantly Democrat cities. They conservative out there. You either innocent or you guilty. Okay, so watch yourself. If you're going to walk around these rural communities, if you're going to college in the rural areas after dark, make sure you go with a group of people. Don't walk around too much by yourself, especially if you're a minority. All right? So I'm saying have a good time up there at those colleges and study. Okay, don't let nobody interfere with you and try to talk you into doing something you ain't comfortable doing. Get away from that person. Avoid them like the plague. If you got a problem, of course you can go to Director of Campus Affairs. You can report their ass. I guarantee you that it'll stop. Okay? Now, if you're a tough guy and you know how to handle yourself, do what you got to do. But remember, y'all up there to study. That's the main reason. Go out and enjoy yourselves. You can play, shoot some pool in the dorms, play, tabletop tennis. That's what we used to do. When I was in school, play some board games, but have fun. Enjoy yourself, and don't be too uptight, but, just enjoy yourself. But remember what I said, don't spend all your money. Just take a little bit and save and maybe, go out. All right? So, good luck this year, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment down at the bottom. I'll answer any questions you have. If I can't give you the answer to that, I'll find somebody that will have it. All right? So, again, congratulations if you're getting ready to graduate from high school, and good luck to you in the fall. Also, if you're taking summer classes, good luck to you on that. All right, take care.